I heard this sound outside. I said, "What is that noise?" And I walked out on the porch of her little Victorian house, and coming up E Street in Virginia City was this little herd of 3 or 4 wild horses. And I knew right then and there that if those horses could be wild and free and walk up the streets of Virginia City unmolested, then maybe I could too.
What's good for the horses and what's good for the range is good for all of wildlife, and really for anybody who wants to preserve Nevada is good for Nevada.
Hi folks, this is Willie Nelson.
Yo, what up? This is Big Snoop Dogg, and we're in extreme danger of losing the largest wild horse herd in the country.
A precious part of our Western heritage will be gone forever unless you help right now.
We're in a terrible struggle. The largest contiguous herd of wild horses in the United States is about to be eliminated.
We're running the danger of losing them from the free natural world.
In 1999, the Natural Resources Conservation Service did a study of part of this range and assessed how many horses could be supported. The NRCS estimated that 500 horses could live on the 85,000 acres, so it's not appropriate to project that only 500 horses can live on over 200,000 acres. If you do the math, about 1,200 horses, which we kind of believe are out here, is right. This is the southeast corner of the wild horse range. About 11 miles to the north is I-80, and probably about another 13 or 14 miles west. You go up the hill, you'll find Virginia City.
We have a tiny little wild horse museum and gift store. And we have people come in there from all over the world. And every time people come in, they say, "Where can we see the wild horses? Where can we see the wild horses?"
It's very accessible, and the public can see horses, and the public can see the wildlife. They can see Nevada at its finest, in my opinion.
Now, this is an old, authentic, historic herd that goes back to the early days in the 19th century.
This is a window to Nevada's history, and it's just totally cool. The horses need to be managed, but we're certainly not in a crisis situation. Between us and the Department of Agriculture, pretty much every element of the population and herd management is covered. We like to protect some of this while it's still here.
Sanctuary set aside for horses. In other words, a place where the horses could be protected and the public could come and interact with some of them in a non-invasive way. It would be wonderful for tourism in Nevada.
Once they filled the niche and they encounter their barriers, then they'll exercise what they call auto-regulation.
There's no one single solution to managing horses on the range. We need to manage the resources. We need to keep the horses out of areas where they conflict with human development. But if we can apply all of these things, then the number of horses that actually have to be taken off will be somewhat in balance with what we call the good adoption market, and it's a win-win for everybody.
We need to look ahead. We need to begin with all of our natural gifts and treasures here in Nevada and everywhere else in this world, to look down the road a long way.
Here we are, outdoor Nevada. You can't beat it. There's nothing like it in the world, and it's accessible. I mean, talk about America's adventure place, and we get to live here.